When you're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them. When you walk, I want you to do like this. Boom, 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 boom. You keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Gervonta Tank Davis and Mike Tyson recently joined forces for an intense training session ahead of Tank's much-anticipated clash with Jake Paul. The gym crackled with energy as the boxing legend passed down his trademark ferocity and precision. Tyson personally guided Davis through explosive punching drills, focusing on head movement, body torque, and those devastating uppercuts. Witnesses said Tank looked sharper than ever, channeling Tyson's trademark aggression and speed. With this mentorship fueling him, Gervonta now steps into the Jake Paul fight, looking more dangerous than ever before.
Yeah. Are there any considerations when you're moving your head, like you're trying to get your head out of the center line?
No, well, you want to get out the center, but the objective for him to throw the punch before you can counter. Like if he throws the punch here, you count here, you go to here, right, and you're still outside.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. So you want them to miss, and when they miss, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can punch while he's punching, you can throw boom at the same time. As he's punching, boom, and you go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're gone. Whatever it is, boom, side, whatever it is, you have to go.
I love that foot movement. Is that something that Casamado taught you?
Yeah, twisting.
Twist.
The showdown between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis is officially set for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. Originally planned for Atlanta, the fight was relocated after the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission raised concerns about the significant weight gap between the two fighters.
Oh my days. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight. And now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this. But Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. This is random, no?
Mike Tyson, who's already shared the ring with Jake Paul, has offered a word of caution as Paul gets ready to face Gervonta Davis. Tyson understands better than anyone the pressure and unpredictability that come with stepping into the ring against Paul. But he also knows the dangerous reality of facing a fighter as explosive and technically sharp as Davis. While Paul might hold the edge in size and youth, Tyson believes Tank's speed, timing, and one-punch knockout power make him a serious threat despite the weight gap. His warning hints that Paul could be underestimating just how dangerous Davis truly is.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that. But Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
However, while training alongside Tank, Tyson openly admitted that Jake's punches carried unexpected power. He confessed that his entire body ached after their session, a revelation that stunned those who had dismissed Paul's strength. Coming from Tyson, a man who's both delivered and endured brutal knockouts, this wasn't casual praise. It underscored that Paul's power is genuine, not media-made hype. It also affirmed his commitment to strength training and true boxing fundamentals, showing he's far more than a YouTuber experimenting with the sport. He's a serious athlete capable of inflicting real damage.
Oh, no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jacob doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah, a little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, right after the day after, I woke up, I told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it. But my body was really sore. Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach and stuff was really sore.
Fans and pundits alike have long drawn parallels between Gervonta Davis and Mike Tyson, pointing to their devastating knockout power, ruthless aggression, and larger-than-life presence. But those comparisons always come with a few asterisks. Davis is carving his path in a completely different era, weight class, and boxing landscape. Meanwhile, Tyson's legacy was forged in a ferocious prime that continues to define the mythology of the heavyweight division.
I have to ask you, would you ever remake your famous video game? Bring it to the next generation consoles, my friend?
Hey, I'm just happy to be alive. Thank
What
you.
about, what do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? What do you think about that?
Tank is a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? But what do you think about them comparing him to you? You're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you. Okay.
On the other hand, Davis himself has pushed back against being tagged as a younger version of Mike Tyson. In interviews, he's been clear about the differences. He sees himself as more of a boxer-puncher, while Tyson, in his view, was a pure brawler, driven by raw aggression and the power of intimidation.
You feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah,
What do you call your style?
I don't know. I think I'm a boxer puncher.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person.
A brawler, like somebody that's like.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like. Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole pack. I don't know. I'm
When Tyson was asked about the comparisons between him and Davis, his answer was characteristically blunt. He admitted there might be a few similarities, but not the kind people usually expect. In fact, Tyson reportedly quipped, maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no. A jab at Davis's offering controversies. The remark made it clear that Tyson doesn't fully buy into the parallels others are so eager to draw.
But Tank Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
Interestingly, Davis has never treated Tyson like an untouchable idol. After Tyson's loss to Jake Paul, Davis openly criticized the matchup, questioning why a legend would return to the ring just for a paycheck. He hinted that the spectacle might have tarnished rather than celebrated Tyson's legacy. That criticism revealed something deeper. Davis isn't quick to worship Tyson as a flawless mentor or mirror image. Yet now, irony has caught up to him. By stepping into his own high-profile, controversial fight with Paul, Davis is facing the same kind of backlash from fans, analysts, and boxing purists alike.
I think that it's fair to call them boxers now. We talk about Logan Brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. Like, he tried to knock him out for sure.
How much money you think they paid Tank?
Tank gonna make upwards around 100 million.
Say a word.
Real talk, so you can't really blame him for taking.
Many see this matchup as more showbiz than sport, claiming it prioritizes spectacle over substance. Critics argue that Davis skipped a rightful rematch with Lamont Roach, a fight many believed he owed, in favor of chasing a massive payday. At the recent press conference, Davis fired back at the backlash, insisting he doesn't care what people think and urging fans to just sit back and enjoy the drama.
This face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it?
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they would just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
I don't remember the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember, and maybe y'all can keep me honest online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring. Like I'm building my legacy. I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. Like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring, and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future for himself and his family. He said it out of his own mouth. I ain't got nothing else to prove. If you're trying to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's still a whole lot to prove. My point is, Roy, I don't think, should everybody hold this man to the standard that they hold him to and say, you not fighting nobody, yeah, you making money, but you ain't really fought nobody. If he don't even care about that, that's not even something that he's really focused on. If his main focus is the money, and his main focus is getting out of boxing without getting hurt and retiring on his own terms, shouldn't his fan base and other people get on board with that if that's not even his goal? How can we hold him to something like that if he don't even hold?
Mike Perry, never one to hold back, didn't mince words when criticizing the idea of Gervonta Davis stepping in against Jake Paul. Perry claimed that Tank isn't the same knockout artist he once was, hinting that his fire for boxing has faded with time. He explained that when a fighter loses that pure love for the sport, it's nearly impossible to keep up with opponents who are naturally bigger, heavier, and hungrier. Perry warned that despite Davis's skill and lightning speed, he's walking into an uphill fight against Paul, who could outweigh him by almost 180 pounds. That kind of size difference isn't a small thing. It changes how every punch feels, how long a fighter lasts, and how much pain he can take.
Buddy Jake just signed on to fight Tank Davis. What do you think of that fight? He's got like 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, you know, and they say that there's a large weight discrepancy. Like, me and Jeremy are the same size. So, you know, it's his lower half is really small. My legs are gonna work the best that night. I have really strong legs. I'll squat twice the size that he can, and so my strong legs are gonna do work. Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult didn't sugarcoat his opinion, bluntly claiming that Jake Paul is going to land some heavy shots on Gervonta Davis. His reasoning comes down to the obvious physical advantages Jake brings into the ring: size, reach, and raw punching power. While acknowledging Tank's skill, Showbiz argued that Paul's superior strength and durability will let him dictate the pace and control the fight. His take only fuels the growing doubt around Davis's chances in this matchup. And though Davis boasts explosive speed and sharp technique, Showbiz believes the physical gap will ultimately decide the outcome, tilting the fight squarely in Jake's favor.
How does Tank Davis beat Jake Paul? I mean, you have Shakur Stevenson saying Jake Paul doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, and that Gervonta Tank Davis would just outbox him and beat him on points.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
And I get that, but when I think of Tank Davis, I think of a guy who kind of counters you to knock you out. I think of a guy who's not really a busy fighter. And this isn't just a size thing, because hell, if it was Jake Paul versus a prime Manny Pacquiao, I would say Manny Pacquiao because of Manny Pacquiao's style, how busy he is, how he hops in and out. I think he would collect the points. While Tank Davis, I think he punches the least amount of all fighters in the world right now. So do I think he can one punch KO Jake Paul? Well, the thing is about Gervonta has really shown a huge amount of concern fighting anything north of 135. Check this out.
He hit me in the back of my head. That stung a little bit, but other than that, it wasn't really. That's why I was nervous. Like, he's 140, so I wasn't trying to get caught.
Critics claim that Jake Paul's recent moves, including his win over 58-year-old Mike Tyson, reflect a troubling pattern in his boxing journey. Many see his decision to fight an aging legend as more of a spectacle than a true test, raising questions about how serious he really is about the sport. Prominent voices like Carl Frock have dismissed Paul's performance as shallow, arguing that his success leans more on showmanship than on real boxing skill or athletic depth.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. He's not a joke. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there. But Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening. It's positioning, it's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face-to-face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's going to fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly going to be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3, because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean? You never know.
You never know. Stephen A. Smith has been one of Jake Paul's loudest critics, constantly calling out his choice of opponents. Fighters who, he argues, are either past their prime or not true elite-level boxers. Smith insists Paul still hasn't proven himself against the best of today's generation. In his defense, Paul claimed he tried to make the Tommy Fury fight happen earlier, saying Fury had turned down his offers, though that matchup would have been a real test. When the fight finally took place in February 2023, it stood as one of the rare times Paul faced a legitimate professional boxer in his prime. Paul lost by split decision, marking his first, and so far only, defeat against an active, fully established fighter.
You are beating up on dudes who don't box. They're not boxers.
I was on Disney Channel while these guys were winning UFC championships.
Okay.
You know, I was playing with Mickey Mouse while these guys were throwing arm bars and winning UFC championships. Everyone's, analyzing my career, critiquing it, paying attention to it from day one, but you can't tell me who was Mike Tyson's first fight. You can't tell me who Muhammad Ali, who was his fourth fight. No one knows, but everyone's seen all of my fights. I tried to fight Tommy Fury. Yeah, I tried to fight Tommy Fury, and he backed out due to a rib injury. Undefeated, young prospect. He comes from the Fury family. His brother's the heavyweight champion of the world. I tried to fight him, and he got scared.
Smith has been outspoken in his criticism of Jake Paul's decision to fight boxing legend Mike Tyson. He argues that if Paul truly wants to be taken seriously as a boxer, he should be stepping into the ring with opponents closer to his own age and skill level, not seasoned icons who, despite their experience, are far past their competitive peak.
By the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested.
What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it.
And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer. But then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from his.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul insists he's reinventing the future of boxing. In a recent interview, he claimed the sport is becoming more exciting than ever, and that Netflix's involvement is the real game changer. With the streaming giant stepping in as a broadcast partner, Paul believes boxing is entering a brand new era, one that connects with audiences far beyond the usual pay-per-view crowd. The impact is undeniable. Netflix, one of the world's biggest entertainment platforms, is bringing boxing to millions who might never have watched a fight before.
Huge news, by the way.
It's massive.
Like,
yeah,
I know
it's
we're
massive.
taking it very
It's
nonchalantly.
massive.
This is going to be your next super fight. And this is
on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. Insane.
So it's another Netflix fight.
November 14th, Netflix. Hey, it's fun. It's funny. Like, actually, you kind of like pioneered this a little bit. The pay-per-view model for combat is dying, it seems, especially now with the Paramount's acquisition of UFC. It seems like free fights may be the way of the future.
Piracy is such a big problem. That's what it is.
And I thought you did that with one of your fights, where you were going against the piracy. What fight was that? Where I don't know, maybe.
No, I mean so there's there was like the TV era of boxing, then there was the pay-per-view era of boxing.
So what do you think? Can Tank handle Jake Paul's size and power? Or will Jake prove once and for all that he's truly changing the face of boxing? Let us know what you think down in the comments below.